la mer qu'on voit danser le long des golfes clairs a des reflets d'argent, la mer, des reflets changeants sous la pluie. La mer au ciel d'été confond ses blancs moutons avec les anges si purs. La mer, bergère d'azur infinie.
We need to get the wires now. There's a red wire and a black wire. One of them goes to the black post there. Okay, we have removed the pump from down below, and now we have to rebuild it. The last pump that we rebuilt, we couldn't get the entire pump out of the boat, and so it was more of a pain to rebuild. This one is going to be much easier. So we're going to rebuild the whole thing right out here. These pumps are vacuum flush pumps for the toilet, obviously. And this is the bellows that goes inside and the seals that go with it and the bolt. So what happens is these bellows crack. These bellows crack right here, and then the water gets outside the pump and it comes out the housing. So that's what happens. When they fail in a very stinky, catastrophically stinky way. Anyway, so we're going to replace the bellows. That's what we're going to do. In order to do that, you have to get this bolt off. There's 4 bolts right here. They all have to come loose, and then the motor comes off, and then the top of the entire thing comes off. And there are little duckbills that are in here.
Hey, we can actually replace the duckbills because
yep, and they're not over tightened this time. Yeah, those duckbills need to be replaced. Look at that. This is my favorite screwdriver. I use it for everything. These are really hard to line back up again, I might add. Why don't you just take the whole thing off the top, you say? Well, because one of these little screws is directly underneath the motor and you can't get it off that way. Yeah, this is the second one of these we've had to rebuild. I should have rebuilt both of them at the same time. I should have known that if one failed, the other was right behind it. We kept losing these little screws down inside the pump, and it was under the floor when we were trying to do this. So getting them back out again was a real pain.
If I remember correctly, I had figured out how to set up a wire
to get them out.
Grab them with like a hook and pull them out. Got pretty good the 5th time we had to do it.
Yep. There's a couple of different types of these pumps. This is the type SW, but it's also the 8-bolt pattern. So the bellows and the seals are a little bit different than the others. So if you see something that says 8-bolt pattern or 6-bolt pattern, pay attention to that because there is actually a difference. This is the most difficult seal in the entire world to get. Okay, I'm not sure where this is broken, but it is broken. Somewhere. I don't know that I care. Now, this one goes on the inside of this edge, and it just sits on the inside of the edge, and this goes inside the seal like that. And let me tell you, what happens is it doesn't want to go in, and then this little rubber thing will roll off the edge and go down in, and it won't seal. Now, the problem is you won't know this has happened until you go to hook it up and it leaks. So you have to know that it's in there correctly, right?
And it has to go down perfectly flat without a single angle off.
Right. So that's the problem. Now, why don't you just put it up here, you argue? Put it like that. Put it in first. Then put it down there, right? Well, that doesn't work either. All that does is get off-centered and crush this outer ring here.
And then it'll never seal.
Right here. It crushes these things. So you can't put it up there first. You've got to put it down here. Now, one way to make it go in a little easier is to put soap on it. So, you want to get the Dawn, son? Now there is a little tiny bit of a lip on here. Give it a little bit of lubrication so that it slides on. I think I got it. You can feel when it's on there right. If you feel up in there, you can feel if it's gone off the rails or not. And I think that I got it this time. There is a rubber seal on top of this thing, so you want to treat this similar to how you would treat a head gasket or anything else. You want to go on opposite ends and draw the bolts tight in an alternating fashion, a little at a time. You don't want to pull all of them down too tight, one at a time. So I'm going to go opposite corners. I have new duckbill valves. This duckbill valve was working, so I'm going to clean it up and reuse it, but not this time. these duckbill valves will actually clean up and be usable. But we're going to replace them because I've got the whole pump apart and there's no reason not to replace them. You noticed the orientation of the valves. This lets fluid flow this way, prevents it from flowing that way. So on the other side, they're going the same way. So that means the fluid always flows one way and can't flow back the other way. Now, for the motor, this is so much easier out of the boat. I'm here to tell you this was almost impossible to do. In the boat, underneath things, at weird angles, it was terrible. Ah, see how that fell in there? Now, I might add, 2 of these have a washer on them. The washers go on the top side. There is not room for a washer on the bottom side. So if you think that you're going to put a washer on the bottom side, think again, it's not going to go because there's not enough space for the washer. This bracket here is plastic and it wants to spread out just a little bit, and so it's a little hard to get them lined up. Let's hope that this is okay. So now we need to get the other side in.
Alrighty. I thought getting apart, so I think getting it back together.
All we're
is
gonna
just
do is
reversing
hook
that.
all we're gonna do is hook the hoses on. So I mean, we're gonna hook the hoses on and screw it in, but I don't know how to do this and keep the camera on it because our hands are just gonna be in the way anyway. But you see where it's going.
It's gonna take 2 hands to do this, 4 hands to do this. So.
Yep.
Please like and subscribe, and
I don't know. We'll deal with that later. These are the duckbills that we took out of the old pump. I replaced them with brand new duckbills, and these were all encrusted with all kinds of nastiness. They've been soaking for 24 hours in a disinfectant. And now I'm going to finish cleaning them up. I've done 3 of them. There's no reason that these were bad. They just were dirty. So you've got to clean all the incrustation stuff off, and that's what I've been doing. Anyway, and a brush works a little bit, but honestly the best thing is just a fingernail.